I never like to waste an opportunity to show interesting trees. Now, I have here a dear lady who's had this tree for many years. I'll leave her to introduce herself and tell us about this tree.
Oh God.
So tell us your name, sorry.
Oh, it's Banoon.
Banoon, okay.
Banoon Agnew. Well, I'm a bit embarrassed because it shows a tree that's been much loved, but you know, has a lot of neglect. 40 years in the hedge.
40 years privet.
Privet.
You
in the
made
hedge.
it 40 years ago.
No, it was in the hedge
Okay,
for 40 years.
yes.
Then I dug it up in 1998. So that's
98.
25 years
Oh
ago.
gosh, that's a long time.
And I've had it since then, so I
Okay.
just put it in a big pot and
Okay.
hope that it will grow nicely.
Yes.
And it has. It has
Yes.
been giving me flowers and
Yes.
leaves every
Okay.
year. And but I didn't dare
All right.
repot it.
Well, it's so that parts of it has rotted, which
Oh,
is
it
quite
has.
typical of privet. But if you don't mind, I think some of it is beyond redemption, so
Yes.
you might as well take it out.
Yes.
But that which remains has got a lot of character. And let's turn the tree around to
Well-
see which is the nicer side, because different trees have different. So this, I think, is a nicer side than the other side. Although that side has got a hollow trunk. If you come closer, Tracy, and look at it.
Yes,
See,
I
this
agree.
has
Yes,
got a
yes,
lot
that's
of
lovely.
character.
Yes.
And if we turn it round, this has also got character. So you could put it in a round pot and look at it from every side. But
Did you hear that?
tell
Did you
me
hear
what
that?
you think could be improved. I'm not saying wrong, because different people have different perceptions what is nice and what is not nice.
I'm open. I'm really open. But I know that she has a lovely song.
Have you been pruning it?
But you know, very basic pruning. Tuck, 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 tuck.
All right.
Tuck, 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 tuck,
Do you
tuck,
mind if I restyle it for you?
tuck. Not at all.
Okay, so
So
I
it's
think
going
this,
to be a most fantastic bonsai.
except that I don't get or give refunds if it goes wrong. All right? But I promise you it'll be okay.
And in a new pot, I'm happy to pay for a
We
new
will
pot.
see. We will see. This is
If
quite okay.
it needs
Yeah.
a new pot.
Okay. Now, first of all, I think it's too wide. We need to compact it more.
Okay.
So, I think, like many people, they are a bit timid when it comes to pruning. So
Yes.
let's give it a decent prune. Don't forget, the more you prune, the better the tree becomes. So, and again, this tree is far too large. I think don't need that one there.
Hello, I didn't tell you. This is Peter Chen. He's a master. He's a master artist. So he's having a hand with you today.
You must be an actress. Now, do you not think that is
Yes.
an improvement?
Yes, already it shows us up
All
so
right.
much better.
So that's more to scale. And let's have a look at the roots, because it doesn't seem to have been repotted for a while. When did you last repot it?
It's embarrassing to tell you.
No, don't be embarrassed. because
But you're right, it hasn't been repotted for a long time. Maybe
30 years?
No.
Oh,
10
years, okay.
10 years ago.
Okay, just keep filming. I will bring a special tool to price it out.
Special tool to price it out? I don't think I even put it down. You're going to be a beauty. I mean, I know you
Do
are.
you know
already
if
a
it is
beauty.
tied and...
No, I didn't tie it in. It didn't need to be tied in.
It's coming up to the bottom.
Yeah.
Privet is a species that is much overlooked. People don't realize what potential there is in privet. Privet is a lovely plant to work with.
Yeah. It had such a huge trunk, even though half of it was
That's right.
dead. And I thought, wow, what a wonder to be working with. But of course, I've been neglectful, and things have happened in my
Yes.
life, and I couldn't pay it the attention that it required.
It's not too bad. There you go. So it's not too bad. You can put it back in the same pot if you wish. You don't have to spend too much money on that. And if I can just do a rough teasing,
Yeah.
and I'll show you. I won't show the entire repotting process because
It's boring.
now the repotting is just very simple. No, you haven't neglected it too much. It's not very pot-bound. You see, there's a lot of room for
Oh, that's
the
good.
root to grow.
Would it look more spectacular in a different pot?
I will try a different pot for you. Okay, so I'm just going to do this, and then we'll get it in a pot and I'll show you. See what I'm going to do, rather than spend too much time trying to tease them all out. I will use an old saw to cut all this off. Because I've taken off so much superstructure, this tree could do with a slightly smaller pot, and it will look more in proportion to the new design that we've created. Already it's feeling a bit lighter.
Yes. Well, it takes a master to have the confidence to saw it off.
Well, different people have different ways of doing it.
Well, it's
This works. It's worked for me for
and
the
it
last
works
50
and it
years
works
or so.
and it's fast. What I'm saying is that I had trepidation. That's all. Fear. So it's very lovely to be able to have your services.
Now, see, you haven't used any special bonsai soil, but I always tell people, a lot of these ordinary plants, we don't need to be so fussy about this soil, that soil. After all, you know, plants grow in ordinary garden mud or garden soil. And if you have enough drainage in the pot, they will grow quite happily in that sort of soil. So, I sometimes feel too much fuss is made of soil. I know that some of the prized bonsais, they do perform better in very good mix. But if you just want to grow a plant and you can't get access to proper bonsai compost, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
That is my approach. You know, throughout my videos, I want to show that bonsai should not be intimidated. Just because you don't have this, you don't have that, it doesn't mean you cannot do bonsai. See, look at that. How simple is that?
Such a wonderful frugal approach.
Now, if you went to Harley Street to have a facelift, it would cost you the earth, isn't it? But you come to Herons Bonsai, it don't cost you much at all. Now, if ever there was a facelift, it's this, isn't it?
Yes.
Look at it now. I'm glad
And Privets, they're robust growers, aren't they?
Yeah, very
yes.
good. So you can kindly hold that for me while I cut a little more off.
Yep.
It's like giving a new body, new face.
Yes.
I wish we could do it to ourselves. Isn't it? Look at that.
New body, new face. She's singing.
What a lovely compact root ball. I think it's less than half the weight of the original tree.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now I've chosen this micropod because it's got a nice flare to it, and because it's got a flare, it gives a lightness to the tree. So that gives it character, I think. I don't need to look further than that. I think that because the root spread is quite large, I think that would be better. So would you like to go with that? Okay?
Very elegant.
All right. Okay. Now this cedar tree, you thought it was large. I don't blame you because many people
It was connected.
confuse the larch with the cedar, especially when they're in leaf. But I know that it is cedar because it's the 20th of February and none of my larches are in leaf yet. So now I don't know how this shape has evolved, but it
Again,
has.
freehand for you.
All right. It has just grown organically.
Yeah. It was much bigger before, and I didn't have the heart to sort of cut it off. I just put it in the pot and say, grow.
So it's like training a tree from scratch. You should have come for a one-to-one workshop and do it yourself.
I just discovered you and what you're doing only a week ago. You know, in terms of one-to-one and in terms of the workshops, and of course the 5-in-1 is. And you said one-to-ones are just completely full now.
Very full. Because of the pandemic, I have a waiting list, including the ordinary classes, of nearly 200 people waiting.
Whoa.
Still, I'm getting through the list. So, let's see what we can make. The beauty of this tree is in the trunk. It's got a very lovely trunk, and these branches are relatively thin, so it's ideal for making a bonsai. What we do with the rest of the tree, we need to take some drastic decisions. It is what we call almost like raw material. That means we're starting from scratch.
Yes.
So, I'm not trying to cast aspersions, but we need to make it more like a bonsai rather
Absolutely,
than just a bush.
Not casting aspersions, telling the truth.
Okay. So I'm going to make it a much smaller tree.
Yeah.
After all, bonsai is about making small trees.
Yes.
That becomes like a question mark. Okay, this is where you got to trust me, all right?
I
see
do.
a tree. I see a
I
tree
do.
here.
One is not a master for nothing. I completely trust you.
All right. When this comes out, people get scared. Don't need all that. This could become a bit of driftwood. Sometimes you got to take very quick decision, otherwise we hang around forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a branch this side. Okay. God, this is a serious piece of wire. This is serious enough. This is 7mm wire. How long have you been growing this tree? 30 years?
I think so. Collected in 1986
How? What do you mean collected? From a
from the
garden
wild.
center?
From the wild.
Really?
Yeah. It was a swampy area, and all the trees were stunted, and this, that, and the other.
In Cedar?
And it's been with me since then. 98, 2008, 2018.
Okay.
What did I say? 1986.
Cedar is usually quite a
96,
rare tree.
2006,
Okay.
2016. 35 years. With me. I'm sorry.
I'm just
interesting,
going to split the trunk. Again, I keep showing people the trunk splitting technique, where by splitting the trunk, you make the trunk or the branch easier to bend. So this is called a trunk splitter or branch splitter. So it won't kill the tree because it's not interfering with the flow of the sap. Although I have so many trees on the nursery, whenever I see other people's trees which are challenging from the design or creation point of view, it gives me a nice feeling. So thank you for bringing it.
You're welcome. Did you hear that tree? Peter's happy to see you.
I think you're going to get an Oscar for your commentary. I think the viewers will love it. Okay. I don't usually use such long branches, but it's going to be a challenge. Let me see what I can do without breaking it. So the front of the tree is this side. We always look at the front as the side which is more open. If you hear a crack, then we know it might break. trimming. Can you see the shape coming? I'm going to make a triangle here.
Mm-hmm.
Got the right grade of wire. It doesn't work. I know a lot of my viewers like to have long videos, but I always feel that if I'm just wiring these mundane tasks, it can get a bit boring. So forgive me, those who are viewing. See, this is a crossing branch, but I'll still use it. A lot of people will criticize me because that's a fault, but sometimes you can use that situation to its benefit. I get lost sometimes. This is still the front, and I'm going to wire these two and wire those two. I haven't decided what to do with the back yet. I will come to that. That and that. You brought it at the right time because in the middle of February it's very safe to repot most of these things that we do. So
yes, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said come today, that also is not an accident.
See, I want to fill this side with that branch.
Yes, I can see it.
So that's
Yes,
why
lovely.
I didn't discard it. Anyone else would have discarded that. And I don't know why I cut it there. It so happened that I did cut it there, and it works. Is it luck or judgment? I don't know.
They're coming straight from intuition.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Intuition is a funny thing. You can't explain it, you know.
A beautiful thing.
That thick one could eventually go. Actually, at the tree, you don't need much more, you know. I think we can. Okay. There is no back branch. I don't know whether that does anything. Let's wire this first. So this is going to be a long video, so I hope the viewers won't get too bored because this is exceptionally long. Hoi! Oh. I don't think I need that back one. So it's coming off. And that you can make into driftwood. This you can make into driftwood. You don't have the time to do it. You can.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you can just cut it off, but you can't carve.
No, I do like it. Yeah.
Okay, but
I like gins and.
so that is your new tree.
So
So I don't know what pot we can put it in. Again, it's not very pot bound, but because it was in a, you can put it back in the same pot if you like that pot. There's no harm putting it in there. Entirely up to you.
I'd like a different pot if I may.
You'd like a
'Cause,
different
I mean,
pot?
you know, like you say,
Okay.
facelift and
Yes,
this lift
okay.
and that lift.
New clothes. All right. Okay. So prodding underneath. You see the roots have gone round and round in the pot. There are quite a lot of good roots. I think I can safely cut some of them off without endangering the tree. Much lighter. Okay, now the thing is to fit it in a pot without stressing it too much. Lots of root, it's okay. I'm reluctant to cut too much of this off because it hasn't got too much fineness, so I may try and accommodate all that. Okay, we'll take it to pot straight away. It's what we call our new lotus type pot, lotus design from Yixing, China. So if you like it, we put it, say it's quite deep. I didn't want to put it in a shallow pot like that. Maybe in a couple of years' time we might be able to do it, so we settle for this.
Yes.
Okay. So there's quite a lot of root. Look at that. That's what, 6-8 foot long root? That's a lot of root there. I think we can take some of it. I don't think we need all that. It's like a tape measure.
I'm glad you said tape measure and not tapeworm. I can hold the plant there.
You know what this is? Chimta. For my Indian friends, this is for making chapati. When my Indian viewers watch it, they say, "Oh, how does he pronounce chimta so correctly?"
The chimta normally came with dual purpose. I don't know whether you know that. One was for the kitchenware.
Yeah.
And the second one in Punjabi was to tell your kids off.
Is it? Meaning what?
Chimte na marna.
Oh.
But it was just a saying, you know. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh?
yeah.
Turntable and we will get a better view of the tree. So let's go and look at the two trees that we've done. So this is the privet. can refine it no end. Like this is a crossing branch. Do I need it? Probably not. See, that's conflicting with the rest. This also don't need that. So that is how this tree can, and it's in this outward flowing flared pot. So that looks nice. Now let's look at the cedar to see what the
You're going to show the other side of that tree?
Oh yes, okay. Right.
Because she's beautiful on both sides.
That's right. Some people may prefer this side because all the roots are showing. Yeah, it's two-sided tree, so beautiful. I don't know which I prefer. Which do you prefer?
I like them both, but I think this one has a little more.
Yeah, the roots have got more character.
Because I'm into roots and trunk.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so that is nice. And now this one, again, we did a major transformation to this tree. Although we didn't take a lot off. I mean, how much did we take off? Not a great deal when you come to think of it. See, from that cedar, that's all we took off from the top there. But again, we've transformed this completely. So it's more of a conventional style bonsai. Slight lean. You can position the angle some more as you wish, but I think that works. And it's got a nice back branch. And this can be refined some more with a bit of gin there. Leave you to do that at your leisure. So I hope you enjoyed doing this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so that's that.